Do builders and developers lie about their numbers to create that sense of urgency and FOMO in real estate sales?
I won't deny fully. So काफ़ी बार होता है कि अगर सेल किया है 100 but बोलेंगे 300. A lot of times you will see C, D or to certain extent some B category brands will do. Good brands, I don't think they do.
और कंज्यूमर ऐसा हो गया है आज कि अगर कुछ बुरी चीज़ लिखनी है ब्रांड के बारे में, इमीडिएटली जाके नेगेटिव रिव्यू देगा, बट अच्छा रिव्यू डालने में he might not just do it even if he's happy with the brand. Right?
That's the human nature.
Now you guys grew from 400 crores to 1500 crores in about a span of 1.5 years, right? What did you guys do differently?
I think they hired me. Just joking.
Now how does Ashwin Sheth Group select their next project?
I would say 70-30. We go very meticulous on 70% on data analysis, every detailed connectivity, infra, social lifestyle, everything is good around or is going to be developing there. 30% में 10% at our level, at CXO's level, we take gut feel and with our own intuition and experience we said, I think this will definitely work. The 20%, the most important 20% is basically the owner's gut. He bets on two people, one on the data and one on what we are suggesting.
Right. So even for 1,000 crore project, the gut is always going to be there. The gut and vibe. What is your take of comparing, a billboard ad or a newspaper jacket ad versus social media ads?
So when I joined real estate, print was like God. आपने लॉन्च किया और प्रिंट एड नहीं दी तो आपका प्रोजेक्ट सक्सेस हो नहीं सकता. 80-85% of the money used to go in print. Outdoor was 10%, digital was 1%. Digital was like if someone is requesting, okay, kar lo. From that stage to today, if you see, my 70% of the marketing spend is digital.
What according to you is the next big disruption in real estate?
खरीद तो सभी रहे, बट इतना फियर और इतना डिस्ट्रप्शन क्रिएट किया बोल के कि जैसे आप स्टॉक्स खरीदते हो वैसे आपको आईपीओ की एप्लीकेशन देनी पड़ेगी, कितने स्क्वायर फीट चाहिए, कौन सा फ्लोर चाहिए, क्या बैंड चाहिए. क्रिएटेड लॉट ऑफ बज अराउंड द माइंडसेट ऑफ द कस्टमर्स कि भाई व्हाट एम आई डूइंग. और एक डिस्ट्रप्शन आया कि बोला कि व्हाई एम आई सपोज टू वेट द कस्टमर टू कम to my site, and COVID really helped a lot in changing the mindset. In COVID, I still remember most of the sale happened where the customer has not seen the physical product. Before COVID, before March 2020, अगर कोई मुझे रात को भी कान में ये बोल दे कि I am going to buy 3 crore worth apartment without going to the site, without seeing the product, मैं मानता ही नहीं. COVID ने चेंज कर दिया.
Hi guys, I'm super excited for this episode on the Real Estate Show with Mayank because today we'll be talking to one of India's top most CSMO, that is Chief Sales and Marketing Officers in the real estate space. He has scaled multiple companies such as Purvankara, Kanakya, Kalpatru, and today he is scaling Ashwin Sheth Group. Let me present to you guys Mr. Bhavik Bhandari of Ashwin Sheth Group. Hi, Mr. Bhavik. Hi guys, I'm super excited for this episode on the Real Estate Show with Mayank because today we'll be talking to one of India's top most CSMO, that is Chief Sales and Marketing Officers in the real estate space. He has scaled multiple companies such as Purvankara, Kanakya, Kalpatru, and today he is scaling Ashwin Sheth Group. Let me present to you guys Mr. Bhavik Bhandari of Ashwin Sheth Group. Hi, Mr. Bhavik.
Hi, Mayank. Thank you for having me here. I am really excited to be part of your podcast. I am a fan of yours.
Thank you so much.
I follow a lot of content of yours. So good to be part of it.
Thank you so much firstly for taking out time from your busy schedule. We've seen
my
how
pleasure.
busy you are and you're managing a bunch of things for ASG. So thank you so much for taking out time. And we got you a little token from our side. This is a part of our green initiative.
Oh wow. And as an organization, as a brand, we do a lot of green initiatives in our projects.
So we give plants.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank
sir.
you.
And this is something that
Just one.
yeah. And this is something that I've recently authored.
Wow. I will read through and get back.
Yeah, I would love your critique on this.
100%. Thanks a lot. You should sign it.
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yes. On the 4th page.
Okay.
To all real estate enthusiasts, just on
Wow.
the previous page, yes.
Yeah. later on we can encash. Yeah.
So, Mr. Bhavik, you've done, a bunch of stuff throughout your long tenure in real estate, right? But before we get into that, can we understand first, how did you get into real estate?
So, very interesting story है. I come from a family business background. I'm a Marwadi Jain, and I was in college when I happened to fall in love with someone who is not from my community. And in Marwadis normally generally आप देखते हो कि आप सेम कम्युनिटी में नहीं शादी कर रहे हो तो होता है ऐसा कितनी बार कि आप अलग रह रहे हो. So that was the thing on my mind, and I thought कि it's better to be capable of earning on our own rather than family business पे depend. And I started looking at professional education, and that's where between CA, MBA and CS and law, I selected MBA because of my personality traits, communication skill, and happened to crack it really well, and then did my MBA. And then the corporate side of my life started.
Right. So, what was your first job in the corporate world?
So after the campus placement, my and that stint was smaller with Coke. The start was with advertising business agencies. It was a calculated decision to take. Reason is in initial stage of your career, अगर आपको काफ़ी sectors के बारे में learn करने मिले, marketing कैसे होता है, उनका product launches कैसे होते हैं, then you can decide what's your liking, and then you can go ahead in that career. So I was very fortunate during my advertising stint. I was able to work on segments and sectors like pharma, automobile, FMCG, retail, malls, lot of telecom, Reliance Jio, not Reliance Jio, Reliance Telecom, and that वो टाइम पे काफ़ी चल रहा था. So we could see lot of learnings of different sector. Consumer behaviors are different. And then but ये सारी चीज़ों में से something was in store, and I happened to gravitate towards real estate. And in 2006, after my 3 years stint in in advertising as business head, I moved to real estate. And from 2006 till now, I think I found my calling, and that's real estate.
Destiny.
Yeah, yeah.
How would you said you were in the FMCG space and now you're in real estate. What would be the difference between working in an FMCG space and real estate?
बहुत ही interesting. I'll give you an anecdote. That's what one of my leader told me once. In FMCG, आप ₹1 का ऑयल का सैशे बेचते हो, and you think volumes जानी चाहिए. FMCG is fast moving selling concept. Right. When I joined real estate, and my first stint was with one of a premium developer, leading brand, K Raheja Universal. There they were into luxury, super luxury segment. वहाँ मैंने ये सीखा कि स्लो मूविंग लग्जरी सेलिंग. सो अगर आप ज़्यादा बेच रहे हो कम भाव में तो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी कम है, लैंड पार्सल फिक्स है, डेवलपर के पास उतनी ही अपॉर्चुनिटी है. देन दे वर सेइंग व्हाई आर यू सेलिंग इट एट लोअर प्राइस. सो फ्रॉम अ वॉल्यूम गेम to a profitability game.
Correct.
Was the initial learning I got in the real estate in the first 2-3 years.
Right. I think massive difference in the ticket size, right?
Mindset difference. आप imagine कीजिए ₹1 का sachet और 5 crore का घर. Difference. One you buy, it's impulsive buy. One is completely emotional and financial decision. In fact, the biggest emotional and financial decision a person can take in his life, whether he is ultra luxurious, rich, or is a poor common man.
Right. That's so interesting about real estate, because even I would say the most affordable property in, say, a metro city like Mumbai will be worth more than the most expensive car, right?
Yes.
Or in at least the top tier
100%
cars. Just a very big ticket size to work in.
Very good analogy of a car. If you see from real estate, cars you buy, suppose an entry segment of 5 to 6 lakhs rupees, and आप घर एक 10 से 15 लाख मास हाउसिंग में खरीद रहे हो. एक गाड़ी में आप अगर आप कोई भी वेबसाइट पे जाओगे ऑफ अ ब्रांड ऑफ अ कार, ABS होगा, टॉर्क होगा, टर्निंग रेडियस साइकिल होगा, टायर की क्या लेंथ है, विड्थ है, सब कुछ होगा, सीटिंग डिस्टेंस कितना है, एरोडाइनमिक है या नहीं, एयरबैग्स है कि नहीं. वाइल यू सी इन होम्स, बंदा अपनी ज़िंदगी की सबसे इमोशनल फाइनेंशियल डिसीजन ले रहा है और उसको आप बेचते हो सिर्फ एक पीस ऑफ ब्रोशर पे.
Correct.
He is buying dreams, and hence delivery, trust, credibility, and right intent of the brand of a developer plays such a long and important thing in long run for a business to grow.
Right. Do you think the real estate, industry in general lacks that good post-sales effort?
I won't say fully, but if I see from 2006 till now, the sector has come a long way.
Right.
क्या होता था, मैं स्टार्ट में 2006 में ना सेक्टर जस्ट इवॉल्व हो रहा था. वहाँ फैमिली रन बिजनेसेस होता था, मैनेज्ड होता था, तो प्रोफेशनल ज़्यादा रियल एस्टेट सेक्टर की तरफ देखते नहीं थे. यू सी मोस्ट ऑफ आर IIMs और टॉप 20 स्कूल से जो पढ़ाई कर चुके हैं, देयर फर्स्ट लव इज़ टूवर्ड्स FMCG, कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स, फैशन, एडवर्टाइजिंग. रियल एस्टेट पे जल्दी ध्यान नहीं जाता था, ना प्रेफरेंस होता था, इसलिए कोई कैंपस प्लेसमेंट में भी ये बड़े ब्रांड्स नहीं आते थे. फ्रॉम दैट टाइम वेयर इट वॉज सेलर्स मार्केट, टुडे द टाइम हैज इवॉल्व्ड वेयर इट इज बायर्स मार्केट. From being one or two monopoly players in that micro market, now you have a bouquet of brands who are willing to give you that thing. पहले प्रोडक्ट डेवलपर के माइंडसेट से बनता था, इतना FSI क्या बनना चाहिए, हम बेच देंगे. अब यहाँ इस तरीके से बनता है, what a consumer wants, what is the trend, what typology is working, who is the consumer, what age group he is into, and then the product is designed. So it's a complete shift. पोस्ट सेल्स में क्या चेंज हुआ है इज दैट ब्रांड्स हैव रियलाइज दैट टुडे एनी बिजनेस टू डू रियली गुड, एंड यू सी सम ऑफ अमेजिंग एग्जांपल्स ऑफ ग्लोबल ब्रांड्स, लॉयल्टी, रेफरल, third party advocacy works significantly, and it not only helps you in generating more business, but it reduces your cost of acquiring a new customer really low, and hence brands really invest in post sales. In the last 7-8 years it has gone really well, it has gone really professional. Reason is simple, brands listed ho rahe, social media has become really big, so customers today are putting online on social media their happiness or their unhappiness. So brands have been more watchful because now the conversation between you and me is now public.
Correct.
So if I have made you happy, you will talk good, but if I have not delivered as per my promise, it will go backfire.
Correct. और कंज्यूमर ऐसा हो गया आज कि अगर कुछ बुरी चीज़ लिखनी है ब्रांड के बारे में, इमीडिएटली जाके नेगेटिव रिव्यू देगा, बट अच्छा रिव्यू डालने में he might not just do it even if he's happy with the brand.
So right? That's the human nature. Things which is easy comes up immediately. Things which is little where efforts required, where genuinely you should do. But a lot of brands have evolved. Consumers are also changing. Appreciation भी कर रहे हैं. जैसे आप देखो, even an example like a normal pizza counter firm, आप ले लो Pizza Hut and all. You will see a bell. The customer going out, if he's happy, he will ring the bell. Message to everyone, I had a good time. So those things are now starting with post-possession experience, feedbacks में, testimonials में, customers are going, they are advocating to their relatives. The only difference is it doesn't come out immediately in front. अगर आपने कुछ अच्छा काम किया है तो 4-5 साल के बाद आपको उसके results मिलना चालू होते हैं, because real estate as a product has a delivery cycle of 4 to 5 years.
Correct. Now, you went to one of the most prestigious colleges and completed your MBA, right? IMA, guys. And at least at that time when you had joined real estate, one could say that you were probably one of the rare people in real estate because you were from IMA. How do you think that has evolved? Do you think that's still the case?
No, that time, yes, definitely, because a lot of my friends and peers and seniors said, why are you looking at real estate in 2006? बोला कि the sector is completely unorganized, managed by family-run mindset. It's not a professional setup. No credibility of apart from leaving few brands, and significant scarcity of professional people working in this sector. What happened is that it was at the sunrise stage. I would be wrong if I don't say that I was fortunate enough to be the part of the sunrise industry. In 2006, real estate really took a upward trend. The economy opened up. The per capital income, the people started looking at homes in a different way. From being one-time, lifetime purchase of home of my parents. Now, at that time, the purchase was earlier. At that time, it was at 38-40. Now, it has come down to almost 27-26. So, everything was growing, and aspiration to have your own home was at peak, and that's how it helped me. But what has happened now is that brands have realized that right mindset, right professionals are required to run the business. It cannot be a promoter-driven organization. If you want to remain a small brand, if you want to remain into a sub 500 crore, it's a great way to do it. You don't need this IMs, you don't need professionals. Lala company चल सकती है. But अगर आप you're looking upwards 1,000 crore plus, you're looking multi-city, multiple projects, you're looking at creating a listed entity, then you need professional setup, you need professionals, and real estate have started paying well. There are people now, brands where people from IIMs, people from Stanford, Harvard, people from McKinsey, Bain, everyone are working in real estate. Today, best of the best brains are working in real estate.
Right. You know, speaking of 1,000 crores, right? You've obviously right now you're the CSMO at ASG Group, and you've been involved in a lot of big companies that are obviously big today, but you've scaled them, right? From the Kanakyas to Kalpatrus to Purvankaras, right? Now you've been part of a lot of project launches, right? How do you launch a particular project? What is the modus operandi of a good project launch?
Interesting point of view I'll share. Real estate is like, I'll give you an analogy, is like a Bollywood movie business.
Right.
अगर आप पहले बॉलीवुड मूवीज़ जब रिलीज़ होती थी तो वो 20 हफ्ते, 25 हफ्ते, 50 हफ्ते, सिल्वर जुबली, गोल्डन जुबली, लाइफ चलती रहती थी और उसमें से थोड़ा पैसा आता रहता था. पहले रियल एस्टेट भी ऐसे ही होता था. आप बेच रहे हो, देर इज़ नो टाइम लाइन, देर इज़ नो प्रोजेक्ट लाइफ साइकिल. आप 5-6 साल में बेच दिया, कोई बात नहीं. बिकॉज पहले लैंड एक्विजिशन खुद के होते थे, तो आप लोन नहीं लेते थे, तो इंटरेस्ट पैरामीटर्स नहीं आते थे. नाउ व्हाट हैज़ हैपेंड, रियल एस्टेट इज़ लाइक बॉलीवुड मूवी. आपने फ्राइडे को रिलीज़ की, फर्स्ट वीकेंड विल टेल यू द पीपल वेदर इट इज़ हिट और इट इज़ फ्लॉप. द वर्ड ऑफ माउथ विल गो इन द फर्स्ट वीक कि भाई सेकेंड वीकेंड पे आप जाकर देखो, इट्स एन अमेजिंग मूवी, नो इट इज़ नथिंग ग्रेट. Same thing happens in real estate in launches. So when you launch first time, after at least launching in my real estate career of 17 to 18 years, I would have launched at least 240 plus real estate projects ranging from a 500 crore to a 4,000 crore project scale. The first launch is extremely critical for the real estate project to be successful and financially viable in a project life cycle of 4 years is minimum 40 to 45% of its inventory getting offloaded and sold in the initial launch, which means that your scale of launch needs to be different. From a stage of just looking, आप देखो बॉलीवुड में क्या होता है, जितनी स्क्रीन्स मिलेगी उतनी ही पॉसिबिलिटीज़ आपकी बढ़ेगी. सो सेम वे इन रियल एस्टेट, हाउ मेनी चैनल पार्टनर्स आर वर्किंग फॉर यू, how many cities are you venturing to get the client, how much time you are going internationally, or what is the penetration you are doing in the city. For example, if I am selling a project in say Borivali and I am normally industry trend says 5 kilometers radius you should look at the consumer, but today the scale says that I will also get a customer from Churchgate who is an investor, I also get someone from Central, I'll also get someone from Pune, I'll also get someone from Dubai, I'll also get someone from London. What it means is that consumer today is not restricted to a boundary of a certain kilometers. That's one. Second, जो strategy use होती है apart from scale is distribution. How many people are aware of your launch? How many people believe that this is a exclusive opportunity for them because you are touching base to them at the early start rather than at the time when the prices are going to move up? Third, how interestingly are you going to represent this product USP in the mindset of the consumers? I'll give you an example. When I was doing, we were in Kanakya and I was launching Kanakya Future City. The whole micro market of Powai is not able to sell an X number of volume after putting top 5 A category brands. For us to consume 3 million square feet of development, we were supposed to sell 2x of what these 5 developers combined are doing per month. So we realized that we can't depend on the area category code. So we said that, okay, if I'm going to sell something at 3 crores, who is the consumer today who has 3 crores? If he has 3 crores, which locations he is buying? So whether it is Kandivali, Malad, Borivali, Goregaon, Bandra, Andheri West, then he's looking in Thane, Mulund. All these areas consumers can come and stay here. Why? Because there was a location story, there was an upgrade, a better lifestyle, better views, better connectivity, and hence we went ballistically completely out, and we realized we were successful.
Right.
There is one kind of this. There are other things is where you go like an IPO route, road shows. You went to 10 different cities at one go. Each of the city members, consumers, investors know that you have launched it. So when the channel partner and the consumer both are talking about your project, high likelihood of buying purchase behavior, impulse fast happens. Third is you go the traditional way, which is mass media launch. You create significant buzz around the project. You create so much intrigue that the customer wants to know ye hai kya, like code name. Then you pre-launch at the teaser stage. You don't reveal much, and the consumer interest is created. Online information, codes are numbers are given, and then you actually launch the project. So real estate में जब बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट अगर आपको लॉन्च करना है तो आपका माइंडसेट, इफ यू वांट टू लॉन्च 1,000 करोड़ लॉन्च, प्लान फॉर 2,000 करोड़.
Correct.
And that scale, that number of people, that number of visibility, that number of conversions, you have to start thinking. So if I going to interact with 3,000 customers, which gets divided into 30 days, which means 100 customers per day, 100 site visit equal to 3,000 leads, 3,000 leads is equal to this much of outreach, all that has to be there.
Correct. Now, since you spoke of 1,000 crore launch, what should ideally be a brand's marketing and sales budgets for 1,000 crore launch?
So, Mayank, it depends on brands and the cycle of the brand. For example, if a very established listed entity launches today, I think between 2-2.5% on the marketing spend is good enough. If a brand is a challenger and it's a challenging location, I think in the initial launch he may end up spending 4-5% to get established so that people know, and then it becomes a known product. If it's a newbie in the town who has entered into this business and who wants fast sales because he has taken loan, meter is down, then he will go extremely aggressive. It goes up to 6-7%. So based on your business requirement, the scale of launch you want to do, how soon you want to achieve that number, and what standing you have in the market as a brand, determines how much you should spend in advertising or in the media spend.
Right. How do you decide the timing of a launch?
So if you see, real estate is cyclical. Predominantly there are 3 seasons which maximum business happens. So first is India goes with festive season. So October quarter 3 and last quarter, which is JFM, is the biggest. Then the third one quarter is basically April, May, June. Just the exams are over, people are going for holidays, schools are going to start that. The fourth quarter generally is considered to be little slow, slack, but that time a lot of planning happens. Is basically the raining season and the Shraddh period that comes in. So this is how the cycles are. October, November, December, big one. JFM, big 2. April, May, June, big 3. And the fourth one, slowest one, is rainy season. June, July, August.
Typically in a project launch, what is the percentage of inventory that is sold by real estate agents or channel partners?
Different cities, Mayank, have different ratios. Like during Purvankara tenure, I learned that Bangalore would have a ratio of 50-50 or 45-55, 45 from channel partner, 55 from direct. There, imagine the scale of channel partners operating is between 2,000 to 2,500, max 3,000. You see Bombay, the scale is almost 18,000, 20,000 channel partners plus. I'm talking about a registered one. And here in Bombay, the ratio is between 60, 70 to 90.
That is huge.
Huge variation, huge contribution from channel partners. 3-4 reasons. One, lot of individual developers who are new, one of 3-4, not big names. They prefer not to incur more fixed costs. So they don't invest in sales team salaries, in marketing agencies. They give it to someone who is an outsider who can do it. Once the job gets over, they are paid on success. Second category is where they are small developers. Still, they want to achieve something big, but don't want to invest that much. So they also go through this, and that's where the other firms like Anorox, Guardians, or your Xanadu's of the world come into. The third one is when you have an established team, you have a setup, but you want to do something really disruptive, larger sales.
Right.
So if you're looking at with your team 400 crore, you want to do 1000 crore, you take help of a larger distribution, and that's where the channel partner comes into. So based on that, the variation happens in Bombay for a good brand, which I consider is anything upside of 45 to 55% or 60% is a good contribution from channel partner. It happens.
And it's also because probably that builder is channel partner friendly as well.
Yeah. So it's not just the builder as a channel partner friendly. Two reasons. One, you don't get much at a lower segment in Bombay. So if you're getting an affordable segment, that's a separate thing. But there he's not, he's clueless. So he still waits and gets the information and guidance from channel partner. But predominantly in Bombay, a crore and above is the average ticket size that you see. जो बंदा आज 1 करोड़ का घर ले रहा है वो थोड़ा इवॉल्व है, प्रोफेशनली बेटर कर रहा है, तो वो खुद 4 जगह घूमने की जगह पे वो बोलता है मैं एक ब्रोकर से बात कर लेता हूँ, ही विल बी एबल टू गाइड मी एंड ही विल हैव सम इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ टुवर्ड्स द डेवलपर साइड, आई मे गेट अ बेटर डील. But and plus what has happened now, since the developers pay to the channel partner, what has happened is that the customer feels I don't have to pay anything to the broker and I still get the services and comfort and entry benefits from the channel partner.
Right.
And that's the reason he goes through him.
Right. Fair enough. Now, you obviously work as the CSMO, the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer at Ashwin Sheth Group, right? Could you please walk us through what all do you do for Ashwin Sheth Group and the structure of the company?
So, I handle a very interesting portfolio at Ashwin Sheth Group. I principally look at the P&L management from sales, marketing, CRM and strategy perspective. I am a part of the core team of strategy and think tank, which basically gets involved in land acquisition, which land parcel to buy, decision making on product, what kind of a scale and profitability to look from that project. I also happen to get inputs and give involvement with design, international and national architects, along with the architect head or design head, who is basically designing what kind of a product we should do that. So that's principally my area: sales, marketing, CRM, strategy. I get involved in BD to certain extent and design with the help of the design head. Right. From a perspective of the holistic structure of Ashwin Sheth Group, is a very well established corporate structure now. There has been a very good transition from a family run business mindset to a professionally run business mindset. We have 7 or 8 CXOs who handle their individual role really well, verticals. So we have, like I handle sales, marketing, CRM. I have a BD head, I have a finance head, I have an execution head, I have a HR, admin and tech head, and I have a licensing head. So these are the predominant core functions which are led by the professionals. They run day to day and they have been empowered enough by Ashwin Bhai to run the show. The structure is very simple. We follow more flat org structure. We don't believe in too much layering because we believe efficiency comes when you have a flatter org structure rather than multiple layer. And that's how we're seeing a lot of professionalism and culture, performance-driven culture is getting built in the organization.
Right. Now you guys grew from 400 crores to 1500 crores in about a span of 1.5 years, right? What did you guys do differently?
I think they hired me. No, just joking. I think in 2022-23 financial year, the business was around 440 or 450 crores. The time I joined them in May. We were very clear that we wanted to take that growth, and we were looking something in range of 1,000 crore. And in order to do that, we had a uphill task because from complete shift to 2x, 3x was something that we were looking at. I was very clear that the scalability is possible for 3 reasons. One, Chairman vision was very clear. He was fully supportive. The brand is very well known and established and respected in that micro market. We were in top 2 in those micro markets where we operated, whether it is Thane, whether it is Mulund, or whether it is Kandivali, whether it is Andheri, or whether it is in town. So with this understanding, I created a strategy platform where we said that we will look at 6 months as our financial number. And the first 6 months, we went all out as if there is no 7th month. To be honest, in 6 months, we reached almost 900, 980 crores. And that gave us a lot of confidence to go ballistic. And then the balance 6 months, we went all out. So we ended up almost 3.5 times.
Wow. As a brand, what are your marketing budgets of the top line?
So normally in the stage that we are in the aggressive growth path, anything between 4.5 to 5% is something that I currently vouch for. The chairman gives a principal go ahead as a P&L. But we end up saving because there are a lot of other verticals that we have implemented. So in the last 1.5 years so far, we have launched a loyalty program, which is called Orange Circle, which is India's first integrated, comprehensive loyalty program. It's just not existing customers, but every single person who can touch around the life of Ashwin Sheth Group. We have launched NRI vertical. We have launched outstation vertical. We have launched a new vertical, corporate verticals, to tap the corporates of the world. We have also CRM loyalty, which was, so imagine a team who's been excellent in collection is also generated more than 100 crores to us.
Wow.
Yeah. And the team was surprised. They have never done that before. So great. We introduced, I would vouch to say that we are at least, if not the first, top 2 when it comes to incentive program that we have. I would have studied the best incentive programs globally. And the best of all, and have given something to the team. Our incentive payouts are significantly good.
This is to channel partners or even to existing in-house team?
Yeah, to in-house team. Our payouts are very good. Just to give you, without divulging too much on numbers, imagine if my salary is 10 lakh rupees as a sales manager, I have made 30 lakh rupees in incentive in the same year.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the scale that people have been able to. And one of the reasons why we are able to attract best talent is also because his potential of him earning can be 4x, 5x based on his performance.
And that keeps him motivated.
Yeah, significantly. Plus, this is one side. We do a lot of other stuff when it comes to training, town halls, reward and recognition. We recently launched grooming concept for the team for their self-development. We have Speak Free as an initiative where we like to know from people, our teams, improvement ideas, suggestions that can make us better, things that they want us to change for their benefit, forums where they can share with us their career aspirations. So a lot of this stuff, and we are very thick and thin together. Yes, we are extremely number driven, performance driven culture. We do come harsh if we find that that person is a misfit in the culture. But if he is a fit with us, we go extra mile to make sure that he is part of the family. That's how Ashwin Bhai has kept all the CXOs, and I think that's the DNA that we are following even at the last mile.
Lovely. You guys have actually completed about 83 odd projects, if I'm not mistaken.
83, in 2 days it will become 84.
Wow, that's a huge number, right? And currently, how many projects do you have ongoing?
Around 8 and 7 new launches. Out of this, in this year, another 4. We will add up another 4.5 million square feet of development. With a potential of more than 3 to 4 crore square feet for selling.
Right. Now, speaking of these numbers, Mumbai real estate is extremely cluttered, right? There's so many builders and developers in Mumbai, right? It's the big boy table.
Yes.
What separates Ashwin Sheth Group from the remaining builders, according to you?
I think 3 things I would say. One, which comes from the founder, Ashwin Bhai. Very passionate founder, chairman, MD, who looks at design from a consumer angle. When I say not just as a marketing gimmick, but he actually, I have seen on table where we have approved a design keeping the usage of FSI, which is very dear to any company and developer. And he have rejected saying that this won't work. The customer will not enjoy staying here. I don't want this layout. So he's very, very particular about design. We spend, our core team spends at least 7 to 8 months in really creating something where we believe that the customer is going to grow, cherish his life for the next 10 to 15 years before he upgrades. That's one. So design is something that is ingrained in every single element when we do planning, right? The most important, another parameter that is a hallmark for us is that we would never take a location which is non-established. We would never go, so far we have gone to a place where it's in the exterior of a city. We would never go to a place where we feel that, it's more to do with just selling, whether it is a good infra, whether good connectivity. So we are very particular about giving a prime location. You see any of our projects, not just today, pick any of these 84 projects that we have delivered, or even in Dubai when we completed the projects, or the mall that we did, the Asia's biggest Viviana mall. Every single location is prime. Bang on SV Road, on highway, on your link road, or in the heart of the city. So that two parameters, location, your design, and the third one, I think in any real estate sector, over a period of time, it is like compounding benefit, is the delivery.
Right.
So these are the three unique hallmarks. We are those big boys who will not just talk, will also act and also deliver. If you do these three, you continue and you are eligible to sit on the table of big boys.
I think timely delivery is the ultimate test of performance.
Yes.
Right, absolutely. Now, between affordable housing, mid-segment housing and luxury housing, how would the marketing strategies change for each of these?
It changes significantly in all the three. See, affordable housing is basically a number game, volume game. It's big bazaar. Yeah, and you have to understand the psyche of the consumer and the distribution. You cannot be in one showroom, in one place, and expect every particular nook and corner of the city to contribute there. You will have to open multiple small places where he can connect. That's called distribution. So in a mass housing or in affordable, your distribution with channel has to go to the last mile of the customer. That's one. Your product planning and your pricing has to be extremely sharp, because this consumer is in the early stage of his life, doesn't have too many deep pockets. He's not that experienced. Lot of insecurity and all is there. He is extremely price sensitive. For 10,000 rupees on table, a client can come out from not taking his dream home, because that 10,000 means he will have to break one FD or probably work overtime for next 4 months. Very price sensitive. Yeah. He doesn't mind traveling half an hour more, but wants to give an ecosystem to his family where he feels in his relatives he has done better. He has moved up. So he wants a club, he wants amenities, he is okay to stay in a smaller house, he is okay to travel from one station to 3 stations more. That's the thing. And hence your marketing is all around value for money. What will help him to move up the ladder in his ecosystem, and his aspiration of upgrading and living a luxury lifestyle, that gets fulfilled. So that's the marketing gimmick that you play around with this guy. When you look at premium to luxury and super luxury, I'll say premium to luxury is one segment. This consumer today is not the first time buyer. He's buying his probably second home. From 1 BHK is upgrading to 2 BHK or 2 to 3 BHK. He was staying in say let's take example Dahisar, now he wants to graduate to Malad, Goregaon or Andheri. What is he doing? His expectation is, I want to upgrade my life. So which means he is going to look for not just amenities, space, because he was staying in 1 BHK, and while the affordable one was staying in a chawl or in another place, has come now to a complex. This guy was staying in decent complex or an old depleted building with no amenities, but was living in a good locality in 1 BHK. Now his family is grown. So he wants, his desire is to have one more additional bedroom, right? And hence he is very space conscious. The luxury one is someone who's not buying for the first or second, is basically now have done well in his life, wants to convey to his society, his relatives that he's arrived, and is now looking at 4 BHK, 5 BHK or a 3 large BHK, where he's saying that I have done enough to get some privileges in life, and hence I want a lavish living room, I want larger bedrooms, I want deck, right? Hence his approach is, I don't mind paying little more. And that's the difference between these three. So when you market this guy, you have to understand his psyche and show him this product is actually for you.
Right.
Luxury is all in the mindset, while affordable is what is it in it for me. जैसे वो बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में, कितना देती है, माइलेज कितना देती है, बिकॉज वो उस बंदा, कितने कस्टमर्स है जो मग के शोरूम में जाके बोलती है कितना देती है, जीरो, वो ये बोलेगा क्या है. सो दैट इज हाउ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, एंड दिस इज द साइकी. आप बजाज चेतक देख लो, आप बजाज के पल्सर देख लो या देख लो, द एड विल ऑलवेज शो मोर हाउ मच इज द माइलेज, कितना दूर जाती है, मेंटेनेंस फ्री है, उसके पार्ट्स इजीली मिलते हैं. ये बात करेगी आपको कि जब आप आ रहे हो तो लोग आपकी तरफ देख रहे हैं, हेड इज गेटिंग टर्न, यू हैव मोर लेग स्पेस, एवरीथिंग इज मोर टू डू विद कंफर्ट एंड स्टाइल. दैट्स द डिफरेंस.
Correct. And in fact, in luxury, people also prefer bare shell units, right?
Yeah. Because सबके टेस्ट सी क्या होता है, जब आप 4 BHK, 5 BHK, 2000, 3000, 4000 कारपेट एरिया ले रहे हो, आपकी एक लाइफ में आपका एक विजन है. यू हैव ट्रैवल्ड ग्लोबली, यू वांट सर्टेन थिंग्स, दोज आर पर्क्स ऑफ यू वर्किंग सो हार्ड, एंड नाउ यू हैव रीच्ड अ स्टेज वेयर यू डिजर्व दिस लाइफस्टाइल, and hence you want to design the way you want and not the traditional way. Plus in luxury, super luxury, what happens, no two things you want similar. So if Mayank stays on 8th floor, I stay on 9th floor, I don't want the same look and style and furniture which builder has given. Hence if you see smartly, if you areas like Juhu, town, and few locations where bare shell, where the customer says, even if you give me, I will break it and I'll make as per my taste. So that's what happens. Customization is the key.
Right, right. You know, billboards, offline print media, newspaper ads are still very popular in the real estate segment, right? What is your take of comparing, you know, a billboard ad or a newspaper jacket ad versus social media ads?
See, when I'll take you a little far how the journey has moved a little back. So when I joined real estate, print was like God. आपने लॉन्च किया और प्रिंट ऐड नहीं दी तो आपका प्रोजेक्ट सक्सेस हो नहीं सकता. When in 2006, I still remember I had a budget of 28 crores in marketing that time, and my 80-85% of the money used to go in print. Outdoor was 10%, digital was 1. Digital was like if someone is requesting, okay, kar lo. From that stage to today, if you see, my 70% of the marketing spend is digital. Yeah, you see how the evolution has happened. A consumer who was spending time initially while traveling and then going to office and then going home, he didn't have any medium of expression or entertainment. You see now, you spend 3 places the maximum time. At your home, you just for night and for another 2 hours. You spend 10 to 12 hours. People like us spend 14 generally in office. You travel, traffic, so another 3 to 4 hours. Even if you travel Nazdik, 2 hours. This time, if I am not able to connect with you, what you are consuming today, then social media and digital plays significantly important. Yeah. So what has happened, traditional media to digital, consumer today spends a lot more time on the platform, is more digitally evolved. The generation is more tech savvy. People want to get quick instant solution. इसीलिए आपका ओला, स्विगी, इंस्टामार्ट 10 मिनट में आओ, ज़ेप्टो. पब्लिक wants quick outcome. उनको मेहनत नहीं करनी, experience चाहिए. They don't mind paying a little more. And that's how you see the mediums also. You want them to feel experiences. Now coming, why still print and outdoor or television or this mediums are working? They are based on certain categories. Real estate requires a lot of information to be conveyed, which I cannot convey in the same way on a television ad, because the span of control, cost-wise, and it will become too lengthy. Outdoor is a reminder medium, but in real estate it works brilliantly because you can showcase the offer and you can create the disruption with the same amount. Just I'll give you an example. One jacket ad in Bombay for a good treaty client would be range between 1.5 crores. You same amount you put in outdoor, you could have 40-50 hoardings and you can blast the city. Same half amount you give it to digital, it can plaster the whole city for a month, and it can haunt you for 5 times till you don't clear all the cookies or unblock. That's the power of the medium. So in my way, and the good brands that are doing as a strategy, it's a combination of these two. I'm not skewed completely towards digital, where I'll spend 5% in ATL and offline. We do a mix. If I have a launch, I will have a 60-40 ratio. If it's a sustenance, I'll have 70 digital and 30 this. So when you launch, you need a larger spends, but then you have to standardize, channelize to make it even overall over a period of time. So both works really well.
Right. Now, how does the hyper-local nature of real estate change your marketing strategies?
So in case of hyperlocal, customizations have been possible in print by doing local pin code area wise inserts. Television has yet not reached that state in spite of having Amagi, Tata Play and all that, where a micro location you can do. The best part of hyperlocal marketing and advertising is digital. You can identify saying that in the city I want to look at Malad. In Malad I want to look into West. In West I want to look into Mahavir Nagar example. In Mahavir Nagar I want to look to this pin code 451. In this pin code I only want to see my ads to male. In males age group between 30 to 35. In this age group between evening 9 to midnight 12. In this time only this 3 times this ad has to be seen. So I can go
Extreme targeting.
Extreme targeting.
Plus, you can also capture the digital footprint of each.
Yes. Plus, I can get the senses of the performance of the campaign instantly. So I will come to know how the consumer is reacting. Am I getting leads? Which creative is working? Which creative people are spending time? How much time they have spent on my project? Which project info? What he liked more or he came out. So all the user journey interface of information in this is better.
Right. Now, as a buyer, how would you shortlist an under construction project?
So it's a mindset of a consumer and the stage of life that he is in. If I am in mid 20s or 30s, early 30s, and I'm very clear that I want to leverage my income and my growth, and I know that I will keep growing, then I will like to take an under construction product because I can then leverage my 3 to 4 increments. If I am married, then my wife income also. So in the next 4 years, we will get 4 times increment, both income will grow. Hence, we will be able to bear and manage the EMIs. If I am someone who wants trust and complete non-ambiguity, I'll go for a ready to move in OC ready product. The only difference, it has both have pros and cons. Under construction, you get the preference of the flow, the preference of view, preference of price, while when you, and preference of EMIs because you have a tenure. In OC ready products, the benefits are first, full assurity, product is ready, there is no delay that can happen. Second, you get what you see and you actually see, not on the promise versus delivery gap. Third, you can start monetizing or living in that asset immediately. If you are going to be, you are an investor, you can put it on rent immediately. If you are an end user, you can start living there immediately. These are the benefits for both individually.
Now, what are some of the common mistakes that you've seen investors make in the real estate industry?
See, investors are 2 types. One, who really understand real estate cycle really well and are investing in a smarter way in right brands where the track of delivery is very good, locations are good, or they are growth corridors. The second type of investors are who are like, I'll give you another analogy because I like to. So इमेजिन आप स्टॉक मार्केट और रियल एस्टेट को ले लो, दो टाइप के इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, एक जो एफएनओ और फॉरेक्स ट्रेडिंग और ये सब करता है, उसको लगता है एक ही दिन में करोड़पति बन जाऊंगा। यहाँ भी उसको लगता है अरे मैं राजू बिल्डर के साथ लेता हूँ, वो मेरे को 30% कमिट कर रहा है, ये 2 महीने तक उसको 30% के हिसाब से देता रहता है, बाद में प्रोजेक्ट रुक जाता है ना, उसके बाद पैसे बिल्डर भाग जाता है। Same thing happens in FNO. Most of the times 98% of this FNO traders and this people end consumer doesn't make money. दूसरा इन्वेस्टर है जो लॉन्ग टर्म है, जो बोलता है मैं सही कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट करूँगा, उसी डेवलपर के साथ करूँगा जिसके पास अच्छा ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड है, जिसकी मैनेजमेंट अच्छी है, जिसका ये प्रोजेक्ट अच्छा बिक रहा है, आई एम गेटिंग अ गुड डील, विन विन। वो same thing happens in large caps, blue chips and mid caps, where the investor says that I'm not going to buy with an overnight operator, I don't know what is going to happen, he is professional, corporate governance is there. So investor is दो types के होते हैं. What happens, you see how in equity, why in India 4-5% penetration is only there, because most of the people have been the other side of investor, जो FNO trading ये वो करते हैं, बंदा बोलता है 50% प्रीमियम इनकम आएगी and then he vanishes. सो लोग हाथ जलाते, फिर बोलते यार ये अच्छा नहीं है स्टॉक में पैसा डालना। सेम वे इन्वेस्टर कुछ ऐसे है,
अप्रोच ही गलत थी
अप्रोच। तो अगर आपका अप्रोच सही है और आपने सही ब्रांड के साथ किया है तो ग्रोथ बहुत है। आई नो लॉट ऑफ इन्वेस्टर्स हु हैव मिंटेड क्रिएटेड वेल्थ बाय इन्वेस्टिंग इन रियल एस्टेट। आई वोंट नेम फ्यू बट आई विल जस्ट गिव यू एन एनेक्डोट। वन ऑफ आवर सिग्नेचर लैंडमार्क प्रोजेक्ट ब्यूमॉन्ट, सेठ ब्यूमॉन्ट इन प्रभा देवी, इट हैज़ क्रिएटेड जनरेशनल वेल्थ फॉर समवन। मतलब आप इमेजिन करो कि अगर किसको 6,000 में आपने बेचा है और उसकी आज 2.25 लाख स्क्वायर फीट की रेट है इन 20-22 साल, क्या अल्फा आपने क्रिएट किया।
एब्सोल्युटली।
जस्ट इमेजिन, मतलब उस बंदे ने 6,000 में घर लिया है, वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ये सोचेगा 20,000 25,000 हो गया, 4 गुना, 2.25 लाख 2 लाख, made his money, right?
And you know, great end use option as well. What fabulous gentry. I think Deepika Padukone
everyone,
as well.
yeah. Then you look at the other one, इन सबब जहाँ आपने स्टार्ट किया बेचना 500 में, आज वो 28,000 पे है। क्या ग्रोथ मिली है इन 25-28 ईयर्स। जस्ट इमेजिन द स्केल। सो जो एक बोलते हैं ना स्टॉक मार्केट गिव्स यू सो मच इफ यू स्टे, यू सी इन रियल एस्टेट देयर हैव बीन केसेस वेयर पीपल हैव मिंटेड मनी। हाँ, आपने राइट डिसीजन लिया, दैट स्टॉक पिकिंग होता है, वैसे डेवलपर पिकिंग एंड लोकेशन पिकिंग इज एक्सट्रीमली इम्पोर्टेंट।
करेक्ट। नाउ हाउ डज अ डेवलपर गो ऑन फ्रॉम बीइंग अ रीजनल प्लेयर टू अ नेशनल प्लेयर?
सी, the reason to be national is 3-4 reasons. One, the ambition of the developer to grow beyond a certain scale. अगर आप 5,000 करोड़ के ऊपर सोच रहे हो या 4,000-5,000 करोड़ के ऊपर सोच रहे हो, then you need to scale because your one location will start getting saturated. Second, national player gives you a lot of credibility when it comes to listing, when it comes to कि आपका एक बेस बना है, right? Third, when you are national player, you have intercity sales. Like there are investors in Bangalore who want to invest with you in Bombay because they've been extremely happy there. You get different consumer segments. So आप एक जगह plotted development बना रहे हो, एक जगह फार्म हाउस क्रिएट कर रहे हो, एक जगह आप रेजिडेंशियल प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हो, एक जगह रिटेल कर रहे हो, एक जगह एग्रो लॉजिस्टिक पार्क बना रहे हो, एक जगह इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क्स क्रिएट कर रहे हो. सो डिफरेंट लोकेशन हैज़ ट्रेंड्स. लाइक बैंगलोर हैज़ कमर्शियल यील्ड हाईएस्ट करेंटली, राइट. सो वहाँ आईटी बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है तो आप वो करो. आप नागपुर नासिक जाओ, इंडस्ट्रियल पार्क्स क्रिएट कर सकते हो, दैट विल वर्क. पुणे में यू विल क्रिएट रेजिडेंशियल ऑफिसेज एंड रेजिडेंशियल स्टूडियो कम co-working spaces work really well because migrating crowd hai. Bombay is very good for high-end living luxury. So each pockets you have to identify and then you can do a lot of growth scale.
Now, how does Ashwin Sheth Group select their next project? What is is it all feasibility reports or is there something more than that?
So I would say with the way we currently approach and being so aggressive on land parcel acquisition, I would say 70-30. We go very meticulate on 70% on data analysis, every detail to say, make us convinced that this location is good. It will have a better sellability, better potential, more volume of customers, will be able to sell faster and will able to get right consumer there. Connectivity, infra, social lifestyle, everything is good around or is going to be developing there. 30% में 10% at our level, at CXO's level, we take gut feel, and with our own intuition and experience, we said, I think this will definitely work. We will have a first mover advantage, or we'll be the pioneers in this. The 20%, the most important 20% is basically the owner's gut. He bets on two people, one on the data and one on what we are suggesting. And then he take that calculated risk, I think, and that's where I keep learning from Ashwin Bhai, where everything sheet will say this is right. And then he will say that, Bhavik, I'm not taking this call, and I'll tell you why. And later on, after 2-3 years, we have seen that why that decision was so right.
Right. So even for 1,000 crore project, the gut is always going to be there. The
I
gut
think
and vibe.
entrepreneurship without a gut or with the forward-looking thing, I haven't seen so many entrepreneurs in my life so far. I've worked with different community owners. I've worked with a Gujarati mindset promoters, whether it is Marwadi mindset, Sindhi mindset, or in a corporate culture, or in a family come corporate culture, or a complete corporate culture. I think there is, and I don't see that fashion going out soon. Gut will always play an important role, because numbers can only talk to a certain extent. Whether that numbers will marry to our thought process requires a gut feel, calculated.
What part of real estate do you enjoy the most? And you do a bunch of things for Ashwin Sheth Group. Within Ashwin Sheth Group, within your profile, what do you enjoy the most?
I think as a person and as a professional, I have evolved. When I started, I used to love marketing, creatives, campaigns. I used to get proud feeling when I see my creation being there on billboards, in print, and people appreciating, getting released. From there, graduating to sales, seeing targets achievement and getting that adrenal rush. Okay, yes, we have achieved this number. To being in a zone where today my liking and my calling is, where am I able to be a contributor in creation of the organization that the owner wants to. I get very high or get very satisfied when I am able to see that my contribution is leading to the company in the direction that the company wants to reach over a period of time. And what I mean is that I like to see business growth. My calling today is growth. That growth can be in people's intelligence, that growth can be in the way your brand is seen, that growth can be in terms of your top line, that growth can be in terms of product innovation, your growth can be as seen as industry leaders, your growth can be pioneers in design, your growth can be in creating stuff that allows customers to be delighted. So anything that leads me to a growth path, that is the current calling. I don't know, after a few years when we interact again, what will be a new calling?
Always evolving.
Yes.
Right? What are some of your most successful real estate marketing campaigns?
There are many, but few where the journey was very tough. So when I started my real estate and I was working on Reja Acropolis, which was in Devnar. At that time, Devnar was not considered as a just ahead of Chembur. It was a telecom factory or somewhere. That place was a lot of outskirts. We launched a premium luxury project, Reja Acropolis. Today, it's one of the signature project there. Yeah. So at that time, coming from a consumer durable brand, FMCG and lifestyle, advertising background, to sell someone a location which today is not a location was a big challenge. And I think the way to campaign the story of the future location was a big learning for me. Very fascinating, and every single minute things of a location, what you see today versus 5 years later, to convey to a consumer for him to take an aspirational, emotional decision today was a great campaign we did. That really worked also. Another one that is where I really have to challenge myself as a professional was in Kanakya, Paris. A project when I joined was doing decent and got stuck because of some reason. And then the MD gave me a task that you need to revive this project. So with the traditional data, team said let's target BKC customers because it's in BKC pin code, and let's do communication of lifestyle towards the customers. Somehow I was not confident about it, so I went and dipped deep. We spoke to all the channel partners. We met few customers. We met the prospect customers, people who didn't transacted, people who transacted. What was the reason why they bought with us? And then I analyzed last 6 months pattern and was able to identify that the consumer has changed. So previously the consumer were corporate. All CEOs, CXOs who have office in BKC were the people looking at BKC so that travel time saves. While in the last 6 months the consumer were all SME owners, professionals, CA, lawyers, chartered accountants. So the language is different. When you talk to a corporate, you talk about lifestyle up in the ladder. This is the location, your connectivity, walk to work with. While this guy was working from home. This guy has an office, production factory far. So this TG mindset was more family oriented, wealth creation, have to be around his community. So that communication took us almost learning 3.5 months. And then we rocked with a tie-up with Zahir Khan, and we had the highest sale in that project amongst all the projects.
So just that communication difference
Yeah.
made the project
Yeah.
again.
So when you do a communication difference, for doing that, you have to do lot other thing. So I got to understand what is my TG, what has changed, what is he liking versus what was my previous communication. When I did that change to my channel partner, I told in my campaigns, when my calling pitch changed, my sales team pitch changed, automatically conversion started moving up. So imagine if I am a channel partner, I am targeting you, but my customer is him, not you. Then I have gone and invested wrongly. I have not got a response. Now you are unhappy as a CP, and then you stopped working on it.
Right.
So that used to happen.
Lot of digging,
Yeah,
basically.
and the most critical one that we did recently at Ashwin Sheth was, imagine a brand who is 38 years old, rock solid, done numerous landmarks in the city, and then when you want to change the identity, and there is no specific reason to change the identity. The brand is not too old, not 100 years old. There is no change in leadership. There is no reason for the brand because the brand has an ambiguity or brand is going through a major shift. The major story reason was for us to do is that we wanted to tell the world what you have seen me so far versus what you will see me now. I'm going to be a different personality. So from a good boys club, I'm going to enter in the Big Daddies club. From a family-run entity, I'm going to be an extremely professional-run entity. From doing an X 100 crores to multiple thousand crore. From being a location-specific developer to national developer. From being into one asset class to multiple asset class. From being into a place of a certain category of segment to diverse category segment. From being a privately held now to become a publicly held brand. So lot of stuff we wanted to tell people is because you met me last time versus what you're seeing me today, I'm a completely different person. And if I don't tell you this story, which is such an interesting story, you will always have a doubt. I'm seeing Bhavik today in a different avatar. And that was the great challenge we had. We did a thorough, detailed research analysis. It took us 4-5 months to dig deep, take everyone's buy-in from the board, and then partner with Chlorophyll, one of the country's leading brand consultant, working with one of the pioneers, Kiran Kalap from Chlorophyll, and with the help of Vidya, we finally launched our new identity. It was one of the biggest launch, not just in Mumbai or India, internationally. We launched in 5 countries at the same time. The success was humongous. We got huge calls from a lot of industry veterans, from well-wishers, from multi-cities, that it's an amazing campaign. The logo identity is perfect, classy, very distinct, helps us to stand out that we are now into another zone. So this was one of the
Right.
commendable thing.
How important is the correlation between infra and real estate?
Extremely important is because, see, when you have infra, your real estate will grow. When you are not having sufficient infra around your real estate, you will see that there are few takers. The growth will not be humongous. People will not like to migrate to a place where reaching will become a difficulty. And that's one of the reason. When you have connectivity, the whole ecosystem comes into place, whether it is residential, offices, commercial, retail, shopping, and then the whole ecosystem builds around. So I think for any locations you see, not just in Bombay or in India, globally, wherever infra has grown, real estate has grown. If you see historically, ancient times, जहाँ भी नदी होती थी, सबसे ज़्यादा सिविलाइजेशन वहाँ होता था. आप कोई भी सिविलाइजेशन पढ़ लो, they were all near to the bank of river, because connectivity, food, water, sanitation, everything was there. Same thing happens now, but it is now in form of road network, rail network, highway network, a place where people can have safety, security, travel. They can be connected to different parts of city, and hence infra is extremely important for real estate to bloom.
Right. Now, why aren't so many builders and developers in India listed? Do you think it's on purpose?
See, being listed is a decision of the promoter based on things that he wants to achieve. For example, some developers look at listing because it is a cheaper form of getting funds. Okay. Some look from extremely professional and corporate approach and say that because we are in this road, we would like the systems and processes to be followed really well. Some are saying that why am I supposed to divulge or be in constant scrutiny or screening every quarter on quarter, and what the world should know what's happening in my office. So it's the mindset, is the requirement of the business. If the business is growing and it needs capital, and the promoter or the owner or the core team believes that they have a good brandwill and goodwill, and they can have the money at a cheaper cost from the market as an investor, then why to take loans? Why to create debt at a higher cost? And that's one of the reason why predominantly the developers go. In the real estate current trend, if you see, a lot of developers have gone listed in order to reduce the debt significantly as first. Second, use some of the portion of the fund for expansion, which is land acquisition and delivery. Third, to create more corporate governance, so that at any given point of time, your requirement for funds can be supported by being listed entity.
Do builders and developers lie about their numbers to create that sense of urgency and FOMO in real estate sales?
I won't deny fully, but ACATs, good brands, I don't think they do. A lot of times you will see C, D, or to certain extent some B category brands will do, so that it's in the market, because जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, ये mindset है real estate में. So आप जो सुनते हो 5-6 बार, तो आपको लगता है सच में वो है, and that's the reason you also tend to. Real estate little herd mentality है. So काफ़ी बार होता है कि अगर सेल किया है 100 पर बोलेंगे 300, एंड कस्टमर को लगता है अच्छा इतना ज़्यादा बिका है, मतलब बहुत अच्छा है, प्रोडक्ट सबको अच्छा लग रहा है, लेट मी ऑल्सो गो एंड बाय. एंड इज इट गुड बैड? आई वुड से इन शॉर्ट टर्म मे बी गुड, but in long run definitely not good. All the good brands will not do this, but slowly and slowly this C and D will also become B. They will realize that it is not a good governance and they will change.
What, according to you, is the next big disruption in real estate?
I think for me disruption is जिस चीज़ को आपने अभी तक किया ना हो, और जिसके करने से आपके बिजनेस करने का तरीका या बिजनेस चलने का स्पीड चेंज हो जाए. सो फॉर मी अ डिस्ट्रप्शन व्हेन आई वाज इन रेडियस वाज दैट ट्रेडिशनल फॉर्म्स ऑफ लॉन्चेस इज प्री लॉन्च, लॉन्च एंड देन सस्टेनेंस. हम आए, हमने बोला कि भाई ये सब तो करेंगे, हमारी भूख ज़्यादा है, लेट्स डू भूमि पूजा. हमने भूमि पूजा में 500 करोड़ का सेल किया. फिर भूमि पूजा के बाद हमने बोला एक्सक्लूसिव प्री लॉन्च फिर बोला कि चलो एक प्री लॉन्च करते, फिर बोला कि एक टीज़र कोड नेम करते, फिर कोड नेम के बाद बोला लॉन्च। सो जो स्टेप आपको सेकंड स्टेप में मिलना था सक्सेस, अब उसने ऐसे आपने 5 लेयर्स क्रिएट कर ली। सो दैट्स डिस्ट्रप्शन। Second disruption was done few years back where brands have some of a leading brand of the country went into an IPO mode. खरीद तो सभी रहे बट इतना फियर और इतना डिस्ट्रप्शन क्रिएट किया बोल के कि जैसे आप स्टॉक्स खरीदते हो वैसे आपको IPO की एप्लीकेशन देनी पड़ेगी, कितने स्क्वायर फीट चाहिए, कौन सा फ्लोर चाहिए, क्या बैंड चाहिए। क्रिएटेड लॉट ऑफ बज अराउंड द माइंडसेट ऑफ द कस्टमर्स कि भाई व्हाट एम आई डूइंग, right? Then there was another disruption ki was why am I supposed to only buy and sell in Bombay if my project is in here? I can go to Pune, I can go to Hyderabad, I can go to Chennai, I can go to Dubai, I can go to London and go to New York. So your scale disruption happened. Then one disruption happened, why am I supposed to only depend on channel partner? I can increase my direct business. So loyalty came, referral business came, events, IP led business came, you know, ये सारे बिजनेस बढ़े। फिर और एक डिस्ट्रप्शन आया कि बोला कि वाई एम आई सपोज टू वेट द कस्टमर टू कम टू माई साइट, एंड कोविड रियली हेल्प्ड अ लॉट इन चेंजिंग द माइंड सेट। ऑनलाइन विजिट्स, ऑनलाइन एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट, सो टेक गॉट इन्वॉल्व। In COVID, I still remember our most of the sale happened where the customer has not seen the physical product. Before COVID, before March 2020, अगर कोई मुझे रात को भी कान में ये बोल दे कि यू नो आई एम गोइंग टू बाई 3 करोड़ वर्थ अपार्टमेंट विदाउट गोइंग टू द साइट, विदाउट सीइंग द प्रोडक्ट, मैं मानता ही नहीं था। कोविड ने चेंज कर दिया। बंदा घर से नहीं उतरा है, ऑनलाइन उसको ब्रोकर कैमरा से साइट दिखा रहा है, उसको सब कुछ हमने ऑनलाइन भेजा है, वो कॉलर भी घर से कॉलिंग कर रहा है, सब कुछ एक ट्रेडिशनल वे ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस को हट कर रहा है। दैट्स जस्ट पैराडाइम शिफ्ट, राइट? सो टेक and use of analytics, I think the disruption that you will see, because it is only in a very limited space currently, use of data analytics and connect with technology and with amalgamation of design, you will see a disruption coming in real estate sector in next 3 to 5 years. Brands will focus a lot on customer journey, the customer delight, and improve from customer delight, because I don't think every brand is reaching that stage of delight, because they know that the consumer will become an advocate will become a repeat purchase will lead to a higher profit margin. They are going to create a disruption in this segment, and the base will be technology, and so that you can reach far stronger.
Now, what according to you is the future of real estate in India, especially in terms of pricing? Do you still see the pricing going up higher?
I see, yes, 100%. 2-3 reasons. एक, अगर आप सही लोकेशन पे हो, स्कैरसिटी में हो, आप एक अच्छा ब्रांड हो, प्रोडक्ट बहुत अच्छा बना है, तो यू शुड कमांड प्रीमियम, एंड द कस्टमर्स आर देयर हु वांट्स टू पे फॉर गुड प्रोडक्ट एंड पे प्रीमियम। आप स्टारबक्स जाते हो, आप कॉफ़ी का 600-700 रुपीज़ देते हो, वही कैफ़े कॉफ़ी डे 300 लेता था, तब आपको कैफ़े कॉफ़ी डे महंगी लगती थी, अब स्टारबक्स नहीं लगता, बिकॉज यू वॉन्ट टू पे फॉर एक्सपीरियंस, यू वॉन्ट टू पे टू बी सीन इन दैट जोन दैट यू आर कैरिंग अ स्टारबक्स कप एज कम्पेयर टू सीइंग अ टपरी हैविंग अ चाय। द क्वालिटी मे बी बेटर बट एक्सपीरियंसेस डिफर। सेकेंड, बहुत ज़रूरी है ये सोचना कि आप कब प्रीमियम लेते हो। जब आप कोई दो प्रोडक्ट को कंपेयर करते हो, बोलते हो दिस साउंड्स बेटर, दिस लुक्स बेटर, इट क्वालिटी वाइज इट इज़ बेटर वर्सेस द अदर, सो यू आर विलिंग टू पे मोर, विच इज़ क्राफ्टमैनशिप, डिज़ाइन। थर्ड, आपको क्यों प्राइस बढ़ेगा, इज़ बिकॉज सब चीज़ का प्राइस बढ़ रहा है। आज आपका स्टील का कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, आपका सीमेंट का कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, आपकी लैंड पार्सल की कॉस्ट बढ़ रही है, आपका कॉस्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशन बढ़ रहा है, आपके मैन पावर की सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट हर साल हो रही है, आपका कैपिटल इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है। तो अगर सब चीज़ें बढ़ रही है तो डेवलपर थोड़ी जेब से भरेगा, वो भी किसी से लेगा, तो एंड कस्टमर से ही लेगा। आपके गवर्नमेंट रेगुलेशंस है, आपके TDR FSI के प्रीमियम्स है, आपके जो भी लाइजनिंग कॉस्ट है, इज़ ऑल पुट टुगेदर एंड देन फाइनली यू कम अप विद द प्राइस दैट यू आर सेलिंग। So it's extremely important. Another reason for Bombay to keep increasing the price is Bombay is an island city. आप सिर्फ वर्टिकली जा रहे हो, अनलाइक बैंगलोर जो आप रिंग आउटर रिंग रोड आप ऐसे जा सकते हो. So that is one another reason why you will see the prices going up. The most important thing that I also think why it will keep happening is because I don't see the urge for having your personal home, which is extremely emotional and financial perspective of a consumer in his Indian context. कि लाइफ में एक घर तो अपना होना चाहिए, and that has become even more stronger, even more powerful, and even more visible post-COVID. People, I'll give you a very interesting anecdote. Pre-COVID, our consumer segment was predominantly 35 to 60 ज़्यादा होते थे, and post-COVID, millennials and Gen Zs have started buying. You will be surprised nationally, 30 to 40% increase consumers have become now जो ले रहे हैं वो millennials है. Just imagine the power.
The average age has reduced
gone significantly. So now it is the एक तो average age, दूसरा ये segment खरीदता ही नहीं था, अब ये segment add हो गया. Third, पहले pre-COVID the average area was between 500 to 600. Post-COVID it became 800 to 900. तो जो आपने ये तेजी देखी है उसका रीज़न क्या है? Completely new segment add हो गया consumer buyers का. Areas have almost increased 50%, 500 to 600 से 800 900 हो गया. Third, buying desire of having your own home as compared to rented increased significantly. So all this led to so much of increase in the business.
Speaking of increase, and let's keep inflation aside, do you see South Mumbai touching 5 lakh rupees a square foot?
Honestly, it will take some time, but I am confident and very optimistic that it can. And this pricing can come to a trophy signature landmark project. A project जिसमें आपने जब वो 5 लाख दिया है तो आप ये बोल रहे हो कि आप कंट्री के टॉप 10 रिचेस्ट पीपल में से हो, या आप वो सिटी की टॉप क्रीम हो 1% के जो are part and privileged party to this project. For example, suppose Ashwin Sheth launches a new project in Nepean Sea Road, and every apartment is facing sea, and it is extremely boutique, extremely elite, and extremely exclusive, rare piece of land parcel जो cramped नहीं हो, amenities हो, club हो, सब कुछ हो, international consultant हो, and मुझे लगे कि ये land parcel ऐसा वापस South Mumbai में कभी नहीं आएगा. I will command 5 lakh. But I will only sell to those 10 or 20 जिनका mindset सिर्फ वैल्यू ROI नहीं हो कि भाई इस यहाँ तो 3 लाख रुपये 2.5 लाख रुपये का रेट चल रहा है, आप 5 लाख क्यों ले रहे हो? मैं 5 लाख इसलिए लेना चाहता हूँ बिकॉज ये वो प्रोडक्ट है जहाँ आप एंटर कर रहे हो तो आप जो करंट लीग में से कंट्री की लीग में आ रहे हो, एंड दैट इज़ द काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस वी वांटेड टू गिव अ लार्जर स्पेस. 10,000, 15,000, दिस आर द पीपल हु आर प्रीडोमिनेंटली माई पेंट हाउस कस्टमर्स, जिनको मैं एक प्रोडक्ट लाइफस्टाइल ऐसी दूँ कि दे डोंट लुक एट प्राइस, दे लुक एट द टैग ऑफ द एड्रेस.
Do you also see, for example, in India, the residential rental yield on average says about 2 to 3%. Do you see that increase to about 5 to 7% like the Western countries, where someday perhaps renting could also get unaffordable if you don't own a property?
No, it is going to be. I happened to see one of the podcasts, I don't recall the name, Sir Niranjan Bhai was giving, and he was saying, you will soon see in some few years, renting is going to be unaffordable. And reason what he gave is I completely believe and vouch for. आज आप घर खरीद रहे हो, रेंट पे आप तब घर पे डाल सकते हो जब आप किसी ने घर खरीदा है. तो अगर मैंने घर खरीदा है और मैं रेंट पे आपको दे रहा हूँ और मेरे लिए प्राइस बड़ी है, डेवलपर ने मुझसे हाई लिया है, तो मैं भी तो आपसे लूँगा. सपोज आज 3% यील्ड है, जो 1 करोड़ की चीज़ थी मैंने 1.5 करोड़ में ली, तो 1.5 करोड़ का 3% हुआ तो 45,000. यहाँ 1 करोड़ पे 3% था 30,000. ऐसे करते करते जब मैं ये 3 करोड़ का घर होगा तो मैं 90,000 लूँगा. तो रेंट तो अफोर्ड एक्सपेंसिव होगा. क्या आपकी इनकम उतनी ही ग्रो करेगी जितना ये ग्रो कर रहे थे? आंसर इज नो. That's where you will reach a stage where you will feel affordability is an issue. The science will say कि भाई mathematically it's better to own, उतनी तो मैं बैंक की EMI दे देता हूँ और चलो एक asset भी बन जाएगा. That is the another mindset. So slowly or later, as you will see progressing in India, amazing time I must say, Mayank. I think next 10 से 15 साल I see India not stopping anywhere. Our average age is between 28 to 30. इंडिया इज़ यंग करंटली. आप देख लो जापान देख लो, चाइना देख लो, जो भी दूसरी यूरोपियन कंट्रीज ऑल सैचुरेशन पे है. इंडिया इज़ लाइक दिस. एंड इमेजिन अ 30-year-old पर्सन एंड अ 60-year-old पर्सन. आप दोनों को पूछो वो नेक्स्ट 10 साल में क्या देख रहे हैं. ये FD देख रहा है, हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस देख रहा है, मेडिक्लेम देख रहा है, स्टेबिलिटी देख रहा है. ये एग्रेसिव ग्रोथ, wants to start up, wants to take leap, wants to buy luxury items, wants to travel the world. He is extremely optimistic about his growth, and that's what India is going to be for next 10-15 years. Significantly growth. Everything you will see will keep changing and growing.
Right. In fact, Nikhil Kamat's advice to all the young entrepreneurs is do whatever you want. Please don't leave India for the next 10-15 years.
Golden, I think, I to fundamentally believe there's so much to do and achieve in India as growth financially in this. You don't need to be in international cities.
That unfortunately brings us to an end of our show.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for taking out time again, Mr. Bhavik Bhandari. I had an absolute pleasure, learned a lot from this podcast, and you've added a lot of value to all our viewers as well.
No, thank you, Mayank. I must say it was really interesting to relive all the last 20 years, 22 years, and
we got a glimpse of your life as well, and vicariously learned through your experiences.
No, amazing. It's a wonderful podcast.
And looking forward, to having you again next year.
Pleasure.
And it'll be a blast.
Thanks a lot.
Right? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.